Welcome to Strange Occurrences, part of the Riche Collective. I'm Rose Stone, and I talk simply luxurious lifestyle on a budget. You could find me as Miss Riche Life on all of the socials, specifically TikTok right now. And if you check out my showcase, you can find all of my luxurious lifestyle on a budget items. There's also a blog called reachlifeandstyle.wordpress.com. It's a totally free website, even for me, that's got articles and recipes. It's attached to my Pinterest, which has so much more. So I have to thank all of you guys who have been here with me from the beginning of unboxing these CDs. I'm almost tired of it. I'm almost a little bored with it, but I feel like, no, we got to see it through, right? Be impeccable with your word. One of the 4 agreements. So I know that I have all 3 Nirvana CDs. Last week, I believe I unboxed In Utero. So we'll see if I've got the other 2 here. And yeah, does anyone still have any of their old CD collections? Share this out there with anyone that you know loves vintage CDs, old or young. Let's talk music tonight. Talk 80s music, 90s music, 70s, 60s. We're just going to hit it all up. We're going to talk memories. So if you guys have any memories out there of any of these songs, these CDs, what you love about them, feel free to share. I love to really just get into some good conversation. I almost wish that I could hear you. I know you could join as guests, and I'll get there. I promise I will. I wouldn't know what to do just yet. I need to prepare more, but I thank all of you guys for watching so far and everyone who's been with me through this unboxing journey. This is the 4th episode. So I would like to start with, I don't know what this is. Oh my gosh. It's Blind Melon. It's the Blind Melon CD. The Pusher, Hell Soup, No Rain is on here. So you guys all remember the Bee Girl, and supposedly there was some beef with the Bee Girl on set of that video. Great video. It's so sad how he passed. It's so sad. I don't know if you guys ever heard the recording that he left on his band members, his bandmates' answering machine. That's what we had back in the day. You left a voicemail on a tape that would record, and then you would rewind and play that tape backwards, and he left this song on that kind of a voicemail, and so haunting. So anybody out there a Blind Melon fan, what kind of memories do you have of any of this 90s alternative and grunge music? Because, I love my classic rock, my heavy metal. I love all that stuff. But when grunge and alternative hit the scene, it gave me, I don't know about you guys, I'll just speak from my own perspective, but it gave me such a more broad scope of what commercialized music could be, because it didn't seem that should have been, kind of like how punk was underground, and then that became some mainstream here and there. A few bands like Green Day, which I do love. All right, let's see what else is in the box. What do I have here? My inner nerd, theater nerd, Les Mis. So back when I went to AMDA, that's the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, that is on their main building is in the Ansonia. Their main school portion of the school is in the Ansonia building off of Broadway and 72nd, where you can get fresh Krispy Kreme hot dog, fresh Krispy Kreme donuts, and Gray's papaya hot dogs. So that was my meals in school, some of them when it wasn't tofu with brown rice and raspberry vinaigrette. But Les Mis, and by the time I got to AMDA in, I think it was 1997, because I hopped around a few years with schools, they had called this the miserable musical, and they never wanted anyone ever to perform stuff from it. And I'm like, great. I think that's my audition song. It was some, I don't even remember what my audition song was. It might have been from Les Mis, but they didn't want any class to ever do it. But then this one class it was part of my graduating class, but they had us in little groups, came along and they did one of the songs from Les Mis, and they did it so well that like each and every one of them should have been on Broadway. In my opinion, I just remember that performance. We all have those standout performances that we remember from our cast members. And I had a pretty good one too. I had a great scene partner. So, it was not the musical portion though. It was the dramatic portion of our show. So I have here not the front of it, but the CD itself. I'm shocked. And the back cover. Does anyone know what this is? It's Sugar Ray. It's Sugar Ray. So this, I don't even know why I have this, but I do. I don't know where I got this. This was not a Columbia House buy. I absolutely know that. But somehow it ended up in my collection. Let's see what else. There's so many. I have an unopened Bob Dylan CD. I just saw Bob Dylan at the Outlaw Festival. He played with Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, who just blew me away. They were amazing. And of course, the amazing Willie Nelson, who is 91 and still rocking and rolling and all of that. And this is an unopened Bob Dylan CD, and maybe possibly had I listened to it, I might have known one of the songs he sang, because he didn't do any of his classics. And in my opinion, the only thing that sounded like Bob Dylan was the harmonica. But it was Bob Dylan, still iconic. But yeah, unopened Bob Dylan. Look at that. It's called You Could Never Improve the Music, but Wait Until You Hear the Sound. I heard it, Bob. I heard it live. It was all right. It wasn't so bad. Oh my goodness. This I know was a Columbia House purchase. I actually kind of remember going, should I really do this or not? Forget it. It's 12 or 13 CDs for a penny. So here's the best of the Village People. You guys are seeing into like literally my heart and soul 30 years ago, and my music taste is still this eclectic. I'm sure a lot of yours is too. So this has everything. YMCA, Macho Man, Can't Stop the Music, San Francisco, You've Got Me, In Hollywood, Everyone's a Star. Ready for the 80s, because remember, that was a big deal. Leaving the disco era and not knowing what was going to happen to disco music in the 80s. Just spoiler alert, they burned the disco records. And that's definitely something I'm going to have to go into, because that was a total strange occurrence. But we've got everything. Key West, In the Navy, Fire Island, Go West, Village People, Hot Cop, In the Navy, another version, and another version of YMCA, because you can't be the Village People without having In the Navy and YMCA on your CD 2 times, because it is 2 times the fabulous Village People fun. I love this. I love that I have this. Oh boy, what else? Better Than Ezra. Oh my gosh. Better Than Ezra. Friction, baby. So let me tell you guys, I went through a really, really, really difficult time, like 2019, before the pandemic, and then the pandemic did not help. And I used a lot of music to get through my hard time. And one of my songs is Good by Better Than Ezra. Now, this CD does not have Good on here, but, and I got to put my glasses on. I can't see too well, but it's not on here. But I do love me some Better Than Ezra. Do we have any Better Than Ezra fans out there? Has anyone ever seen them live? You know, like back in the 90s, it wasn't like you had, you know, TikTok or Instagram or anything to tell you where these concerts were. Even in the 80s, we had to find out from the radio stations and the newspapers and we had to either call like the ticket booth and buy the tickets with a credit card over the phone, and then they would mail you ticket stubs, and they would take like 4 to 6 weeks to get to you. And you're like, oh my God, I hope that I get the tickets in time for the concert. But mostly we always did. Oh, I found it. So last week I found In Utero. This week I've got Nevermind. I'm not going to show the front of the baby, but we all know this famous cover. I think that he had recreated the cover and then got angry about it. But yeah, we got the Smells Like Teen Spirit. In Bloom, that's got to be one of my favorite videos. I don't know about you guys. And then Come As You Are, Breed, Lithium, Poly, Territorial Pissings, Drain You, Lounge Acts, Stay Away, On a Plane, Something in the Way. And you know when you're just now happy, sad? You're happy, sad because you don't have a CD player and you can't experience it like you did for the first time in the mid 90s. Oh my goodness. What else do we have? Okay. I can't even believe I'm showing you this. This is the Days of Our Lives soundtrack. This is the theme, like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. I used to absolutely love this soap opera, especially through the 80s and the 90s. So this has the theme from Days of Our Lives. I mean, it's got like the Stefano DiMera theme music on here. And I mean, I loved Bo and Hope, Jack and Jennifer. What was it? Alice Horton and Tom, Alice and Tom Horton and the Bradys. And oh, what a great soap opera it was back then. And I stopped watching it probably close to 20 years ago, which kind of is not, I don't know, I kind of miss it. I do. But my sister still watches it. So one day she said to me, she never wants to go to the city. That would be New York City. She never wants to go. But a couple years back, because it was the 50th anniversary of Days of Our Lives, my sister wanted to go to the city. So we went to a book signing. And who was there? Deirdre Hall was there. Lauren Koslow. Tao Fanglis was there. Christian Alfonso, the guy who played Rafe. Steve Johnson. Oh my God, he was there. The girl who played Abby at the time was there. There were so many people. So I got their autographs. We got to talk to them for a bit. And then my sister decided that it would be a great idea in the middle of the hottest July ever to go and get us tickets to a meet and greet where they did like drinks and appetizers. And we met Eric Marlstoff, who is Brady Black. And he was actually really nice. My sister and I were talking to him because he had twin boys, and we were telling him we had twin boy cousins and talking about all of this like funny stuff. And it turns out that he grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and his wife grew up in Milford, Pennsylvania, which is the place my sister and I spent our childhood with our cousins horseback riding in the Poconos. So he was very nice. Kayla was there. She played Kayla. I can't think of her name offhand. And there was a kid who played Billy, or his name was Billy Flynn. And that was like a whole fiasco because his fiance was like mad that he was there. And it was this whole thing. And who else was there? Oh, Lucas, he plays Lucas. Brian DiTillo. Now he was really cool. He came over, he was talking to me and my sister, and they were showing each other pictures of their kids, which was like absolutely adorable. And then we were telling them that we had cousins who absolutely loved the show, but couldn't be there. And he goes, all right, pull out your camera. Let's record a video. And he asked me their names, and he said each of their names. And he was like, yeah, we're really sorry. We missed you here tonight. So that was very cool. I couldn't believe my sister wanted to do something like that because she absolutely hates the crowds of the city, but she really wanted to meet everyone, and we had fun. And I have to say, it might be something I would do again. You know, never say never. Oh, whoa. I only have the jacket to Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, but it's in really good shape. There's no water damage to it at all, and all the little drawings are in there. You can hear the paper crackling, but it's starting to look aged. 30-year-old paper is starting to look aged. Oh, help us all. This is weird, Gen X, this strange view into the past of who I was. Because I think music and our clothing, our style, that's part of what defines us. And you can see I'm all over the place. All right, this next one is called Dan Gibson's Solitudes, Exploring Nature with Music. So this is the classics too. I've got Beethoven, Chopin, Mendelssohn, Schubert, Offenbach, Vivaldi. There's a bunch on here. And yes, I love classical music a lot. It's calming, it's soothing, and it used to help me concentrate and study, not just for tests, but when I was studying lines, when I had to remember things. If I was getting overwhelmed, I just put on some classical music, close my eyes, listen to a couple of songs, go back, memorize the lines. All was good. That is how I dealt with things. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm like the happiest person I have ever been. I have to see if the CD is still in here. Four non-blondes. I can't believe I have four non-blondes. I did not think I did. What's Up is on here. This is Bigger, Better, Faster, More. I still love them. I still sing this song all the time for no reason whatsoever because it's amazing and awesome. Who loves four non-blondes out there? You know, every time you go and see like a great bar band and they have an awesome female lead singer and she belts that out and you're just like, yes, I needed to hear this right now. And speaking of women who can belt it out, and the CD is still in there, it's Janis Joplin's Greatest Hits. I have a Janis Joplin t-shirt from Bethel Woods from Woodstock because I had to get it from there. Official Janis Joplin Woodstock t-shirt. I wear it a lot. I absolutely adore Janis Joplin. Sad that she had to go at 27 and she couldn't give us more, music, all of that. I'm seeing sticker things coming up. Thank you guys. I have no idea what any of that means, but thank you. I appreciate it. I have no idea about what all of this means, so I appreciate all the fun things that you guys are doing while I'm talking about Janis Joplin. What is your favorite Janis Joplin song? Because mine truly cannot be anything other than Mercedes Benz. The way that she sang that so raw and a cappella, and it is not on her greatest hits. I don't know why. I believe it should be on the greatest hits, but that is absolutely one of my favorites. Oh, I can't believe I have that. No, I do know that I had that one. I'm shocked that I had the four non-blondes. Let's see what else. Hey, I think I unearthed another one of these, or maybe it was just the CD without the case. No. Jamiroquai, Emergency on Planet Earth. You guys tell me you did not love Jamiroquai back in the day when he got on those conveyor belts with that big hat and sang Virtual Insanity. That's not on this album here, but I told the story last time, but since another Jamiroquai album is in my hand, I will tell you again, as a bunch of friends and I wanted to get tickets. I believe it was Roseland Ballroom, standing room only, Jamiroquai, like one night only kind of thing. So it was, I don't know, 1997, 1998, I can't remember. And we told a friend who said, I will get the tickets, get 3 tickets. But there were 4 of us going. We meant get 3 tickets for us and an additional for our friend who got into the car and said, hey, to me, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh no, you only got 3 tickets. So we had to scalp one, but we all got in and it was just really funny. It was one of those, like, if you guys remember, you 80s and 70s kids remember Amelia Bedelia, the Amelia Bedelia books. It was like so literal about get 3 tickets for the Jamiroquai concert at Roseland Ballroom in the 90s. Oh, okay. So I did find the CD the other day and now I get to reunite them. It's broken. This is Santana. This is smooth. They just played last Thursday at Bethel Woods. I was going to go, but Pat Benatar was playing Sunday, and it was like too much for me to do two concerts like that in a row. Plus, like, we had family visiting. I had already seen Santana 3 times. So this would have been my fourth. Twice at Bethel, because he was one of the original artists at Woodstock. And every time he opens his show, he uses the original footage from Woodstock while they all come out and they're playing the drums and the guitars. And there's no concert in the world like a Santana concert if you've never been. And the last time I saw him, they played, or them, all of them, the whole band, they played with Earth, Wind, and Fire, and there was like 12,000 people at Bethel Woods. It was phenomenal. The time before that, it was just Santana at Bethel Woods. And the time before that, it was sometime in the 90s at Radio City Music Hall, and they played with Rusted Root, which I don't know if Rusted Root is still in this collection. I know I had them, but that was one of the best concerts ever that I've ever seen. I'm a huge Santana fan. Their music makes me so happy. I know I do not have the Gypsy Kings in here, but Santana always reminds me of the Gypsy Kings. Another favorite. Do we have Santana fans out there? What's your favorite Santana song? This is the Supernatural album. So this is his post Y2K. So this has, oh my gosh, what's my favorite on here? Love of My Life featuring Dave Matthews, Daya Leo. They play that all the time. Africa Bamba, Smooth with Rob Thomas. That got a lot of radio play. Do You Like the Way? Maria Maria, love that song. Migra Corazon Espinado. That is one of the most beautiful songs I think that they've ever written, and so many others on here. I love me some Santana. Okay. So we found a movie soundtrack. This movie is very, very special, very, very near and dear to my heart because it was being filmed while I was at AMDA in that entire neighborhood. And that is the movie You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Cruise. And this is after their Sleepless in Seattle success. So I got to see them in action a few times, and Gene Stapleton was in this movie, and there were a few other wonderful actors. I can't think off the top of my head, but I got to see a lot of this movie being filmed. And then I was still in that neighborhood in the city when it came out in the theaters. So I got to go to the theater right near Lincoln Center. This was filmed between like Lincoln Center and like Broadway, like the Upper West Side, and on those parks, beautiful parks that they have on the Upper West Side on Riverside. And I got to see so much of this movie being filmed. It was a wonderful experience for me at the time. In my early 20s, you know, being in acting school, the world was my oyster, all of it. It was just, this brings back such wonderful, wonderful memories. And I always loved her hair short, Meg Ryan. So I would always get my hair cut short if Meg Ryan would cut her hair short because it always looked so good on her. And we kind of have similar, like, thick hair. So I could get that kind of same shaggy cut as her. Anyway, enough about my hair. We're going back to the 80s right now. I knew I had to have something, and I'm very proud that it's Billy Idol. It's Billy Idol. It's Vital Idol. Is it still in here? It is. It's still in here. So we've got White Wedding Parts 1 and 2, Moni Moni, Hot in the City, Dancing with Myself, Flesh for Fantasy, To Be a Lover, Love Calling, and Catch My Fall. So I am a Billy Idol fan. One of my favorite videos, just, you know, offhand, is Cradle of Love. I know a lot of you guys loved that video too. It was off the hook, amazing. I love me some Billy Idol. He's still rocking. Haven't seen him yet. Billy Idol, if you hear this, please come to Bethel Woods because it's a half hour from my house and I really want to see you. Thank you. That would be great. You think that'll work? All right, so I've got Elvis. I think I did have some Elvis earlier. I don't remember. I know I've had a lot of Elvis. I'm a big Elvis fan. So this is his greatest hits 2, with That's All Right. I forgot to remember to forget Blue Suede Shoes. So many. There's 30 songs on here, including 2 bonus tracks. The first one is I'm a Roustabout, which was a previously unreleased song. And the second bonus track is Rubberneckin', which is a great, great song. This is the remix and radio edit, and this is why I've got to get a CD player, because we need some listening parties. I think I'm gonna have to do something like music and a meal, right? I'm gonna trademark that and copyright that right now. Music and a meal with Reach Life, and we'll play a CD or a record and plan a themed meal around it. Because I used to love to have themed dinner parties. And I have all these great cookbooks from, well, a lot of different celebrities and celebrity chefs and, all this stuff. And I've just always had this dream to have these parties based on just the recipes in those books and theme them for the 70s, the 80s, whatever it is. I still have more, right? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Oh no. It's Brian Adams. So this is So Far So Good. Summer of 69, Straight from the Heart, Can't Stop This Thing We Started, Cuts Like a Knife. Oh, it's got Everything I Do It for You. Gen Xers who lived through that horror of 1990. We remember the horror of the Robin Hood movie. And we were like, oh, Brian Adams has a new song coming out. And then it was Everything I Do It for You. And you'd be jamming on the radio. And then all of a sudden, the world would stop. And you would hear this song this song is on this CD is 6 minutes and 34 seconds. I don't think I have 6 minutes and 34 seconds to be like, listening to this, but I have a cat hair in my nose. Wow. But we're going to have a listening party, and we're going to listen to all 6 minutes and 34 seconds as soon as I get a CD player. You guys, if you find used CD players anywhere, like online or something, tag me so I can grab it, because I really, really want it. Okay, see, more of my musical theater nerd. I know I have the new cast recording. This is the original cast recording of Chicago with Gwen Verdon and Cheetah Rivera, who just passed away, and of course, the late, great Jerry Orbach. And of course, I did not say the late, great Gwen Verdon. Here's a weird fact. Maybe it's a fun fact, but it's me, so it's weird. It's strange. I went to high school with Cheetah Rivera's niece, and she came to our high school musical of Bye Bye Birdie, because she had a starring role in Bye Bye Birdie on Broadway. She played the teacher that was in love with Albert and sang the song. So here is, of course, the original cast recording, and I am a Bob Fosse fan. I am a Kander and Ebb fan. That was pretty much my vocal range, how I danced. It was just always something. So this is called Secret Samadhi. I don't know what's on this. It's probably like a yoga meditation CD. Don't have a clue. And a totally clear see-through CD that I'm going to make into some art, because that looks like fun. I still have a whole thing of recordable CDs downstairs in my basement. This says Parental Advisory, Def Jam Records, LL Cool J, Beastie Boys, Orange Juice Jones, Slick Rick, Public Enemy. Oh, Fight the Power. What's on here? Beastie Boys, Fight for Your Right. Oh my God, Method Man featuring Mary J. Blige. I'll be there for you. You're all I need to get by. Oh God, it's the Puff Daddy mix. Oh my God, remember when he was Puff Daddy and not under investigation? We have Jay-Z, Ja Rule, DMX. My cousin was really good friends with DMX and used to go visit him when he was in the Clink all the time. I have a lot of stories. I know a lot of people, a lot. So this is awesome. This one is definitely going to need a listening party, and I have Snoop's first cookbook, but not his second one, and I'm gonna have to get it. And I gotta tell you guys, Snoop Dogg can cook. The dog can cook. I have like Christmas cards and birthday cards in here. Hey, Barry White. Oh, I think I had another Barry White that wasn't open. So this is Barry White's greatest hits. It's got the whole thing. Can't get enough of your love, love theme. Don't make me wait too long. I'm qualified to satisfy. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. How many of you guys absolutely love Barry White and just for no reason need to put his music on and just listen to his voice and like chill? I love it. I'm happy I have that too. So I have a couple of Barry Whites. So yeah, my tastes are really like way out there. But if you think about it, good music is good music. And if we only stick to one kind, how boring is that? Now, I told you guys that I did like a sort of a spin on the Sopranos show in like a theater group many years ago, kind of like a sketch comedy improv sort of thing. So, of course, I have to have the Sopranos. So, woke up this morning. It was a very good year. Frank Sinatra, State Trooper by Bruce Springsteen, Bo Diddley, I'm a Man, Elvis Costello and the Attractions, Complicated Shadow. This is definitely going to be a fun music and a meal night because I know what I'm cooking. It'll just be Italian. So this is cool. I'm really going to do this as soon as I find myself a CD player. Here's the blind melon with the melon, the bee girl, the melon girl. I'm getting tired, the melon girl. This is the bee girl. So here she is. Like I said, they weren't crazy about her on set. This is got Soak in the Sun, Tones of Home. I Wonder. I can't read the rest. I don't have my glasses on. I can't wear my glasses and these headphones at the same time. So here we are with the Blind Melon Bee Girl CD. That's a classic now. And then I've got Sting and the Police 97, Roxanne, and this is like this is when they paid tribute to Biggie. I'll just say that. This is when they paid tribute to Biggie, and that's the song. Do you remember when that came out? We were like, oh wow, he sampled Sting, and then all of a sudden Sting was on stage with him singing. But I believe Sting gets 50% royalties, if I'm not mistaken. I could be, but that's what I thought I heard, and that stuck in my mind. So yeah, just a few more to go. I've got 5 more CDs out of that collection and another Aerosmith. As I told you, they're my favorite. This is Pump. This is one of the CDs I played over and over again besides Toys in the Attic. So this has Love in an Elevator, Janie's Gotta, Dulcimer Stop, The Other Side, My Girl, Don't Get Mad, Get Even, Hoodoo, Voodoo Medicine Man, What It Takes, which is one of my favorite songs. So like I said, I'm a huge Aerosmith fan. And if you didn't hear this story before, many, many years ago, when I was living in my hometown of Mount Vernon, there was an Aerosmith concert, I believe at Madison Square Garden. And Steven Tyler is from Yonkers, New York, which is, I'm right on the border of it. Like I could walk to Yonkers from my part of Mount Vernon. And there was a club back in the day called the Lowdown, which was, when I say underground, it was literally under the ground. It used to be called Hoops back in the 70s and 80s, and it had a slide. You would slide down the slide to get into the bar and then climb up the stairs. Don't ask me how I know that when I was 4 years old, but I know that. So it turned into the Lowdown, where they used to get rock bands to play, and Aerosmith showed up unannounced, and I could have seen them for $7, but one of my friends wouldn't go out, and I'm still bitter about it. I'm still bitter, and that is that. The last band that played, I didn't go. I should have. I'm sad. The last band that played at the Lowdown before it closed was Warrant. I could have heard Cherry Pie Live for like $25, which was a lot for that bar back in the day. But that's the story again. Don't forget, you can catch all of this on Spotify and YouTube the next day. So let's get back to the musical theater nerd, Yul Brynner, Rodgers and Hammerstein's The King and I, of course, with the beautiful and talented and brilliant Constance Towers as well. How many times did you guys watch this movie as a kid? Did anyone ever see the Broadway show? I love this story. I always have, and I have the music to prove it. What's next? What's this? I'm so happy with myself. I was going to be disappointed in myself if I didn't, but I have Metallica. I was like, there's no way I could not have one Metallica CD. I keep saying DVD because they look the same, and we still kind of use DVDs. So this doesn't have a lot on there. This has Helpless, The Small Hours, The Wait, Crash Course in Brain Surgery, Last Caress, Green Hell, Not Very, produced by Metallica. So I haven't listened to this one in a long, long time, but at least I have some Metallica, and still wrapped in the cellophane is the world's great tenors, Pavarotti, Domingo, and Carreras. Oh, and this was my dad's CD. This is his. This is I took it from him. This was his. It's now mine. I stole your CD and never opened it. But back in the day, this is how he used to mark his stuff. I don't think he marks his stuff like that anymore. But there's the three tenors. And I also have in here a mystery CD, and it is hand-drawn, the cover of a Rubik's Cube, and we don't know what's in here, but it was mixed in May of 1999. So this is my mystery CD from 1999. So like I said, you guys, if you know of anyone out there that's got a CD player, I will purchase it, and I hope it works. A working CD player. Let me make myself more clear before I just get a broken CD player. If you know anyone that has a working CD player that maybe they're selling somewhere, they want to get rid of, let me know. I've got a bunch of CDs and I really want to play them. So I want to tell you guys just for a moment how absolutely amazing Pat Benatar is. And I got to see her and obviously Neil Giraldo and her band live on Sunday. And before that, Berlin played, riding on the metro, Take My Breath Away. She looked amazing. I've got to post a video of her, just her gorgeous red dress that was like a bustier, and then it was like ruffled, pure red, strapless with like a slit, and she just looked so beautiful and sang gorgeous. And Pat Benatar, though, for real, has the best live voice I have ever heard in my life. I mean, she's like a true vocalist. She hit every note to perfection. Obviously, there's like every reason in the world why she and her husband are Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, and that is how Bethel Woods introduced them. I caught the tail end of it, just their names, but they said Bethel Woods Center for the Arts presents Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo, and they just played all these songs. They played War, What Is It Good For? Absolutely Nothing. If you go to my TikTok, you can see a video of that with the full moon over the Horizon stage, and it was a beautiful moment. I took a little bit of video. I was really just into the moment, but I wanted to share as much as I could with you guys because it was a great experience. And you can check out those TikToks of her and just listen to her voice. She's like pitch perfect. And she's someone I never thought I would get to see. And she played like pretty much everything. She'd be like 1980 and, get on your dancing shoes. And she played Love is a Battlefield. And she and her husband were mentioning that back in the 60s, they were part of the beatnik move, which I think is like what I would have been into. I wouldn't have been like super mod. And I don't really know if I would have been like super hippie. I think I would have been like the beatnik, like just sitting there wearing all black because that's pretty much almost all I wear anyway. And, creating art and poetry and music. And they played this particular song. I'm going to have to look it up, but it was, for that, an homage to the beatnik movement and lifestyle. And I think that that's something we should bring back. Like, I don't know. I often think, maybe I think too much, overthink, but tell me if you guys think this too. Give me some hearts or something. Let me know. If you guys think, what would I have been like living in like every decade, let's say in the 20th century? Like, what would I have been like in 1900s, like the 1910s, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s? I don't know. The 50s, still don't know, because that's like so out of like my realm of thinking. But if I think about the 60s, I'm like, oh, beatnik. If I think about the 70s, I probably would have been like one of the disco ladies, definitely. The 80s, I was there. I was a kid, but I would have had higher hair and just gone out to clubs where I could drink instead of clubs where I couldn't drink, because that's what we did as kids back in the 80s. My club days, I said started at 13, but we had teen nights at our clubs. But if I think about it, it actually started in kindergarten with my school's roller discos. So my school used to take all of the folding chairs out of the auditorium. They never put in regular chairs, so that they could set up a roller skating rink in the auditorium, and we could all go and just skate around at the school instead of the roller rinks that we went to as well. But our art teacher was the DJ, and he had like every record on the planet, and he was like mixing and doing all these crazy things. Awesome time. So I've been out partying since I'm 4, it seems like. But I think about that, and then I know what I was in the 90s. I was just like a grunge chick, like everyone else. I mean, the 90s, like, thinking about just how everything was like really grunge, alternative. We would wear a t-shirt, an old sweater, some jeans, but then like we'd put on, this really nice chunky silver jewelry, or those tattoo necklaces. Remember, like they would stick to your neck. It was like a choker of plastic. That was a weird trend, but like not the worst. I would say like the bad fad of the 90s was glitter. Why did we do the glitter? What did we do to ourselves with putting glitter on our bodies like that? Like it was decoration or something, And then I know a lot of girls, our style changed when Gwen Stefani hit the scene, and she brought in her really unique, Orange County, Anaheim, California vibe. And we just loved her because it was this modern retro kind of look that was just so eclectic, and mixed everything you could imagine. And that's what we did back then. We mixed so many different things, and we had a lot of fun with fashion became horrible in the early aughts. After Y2K, everything was low-rise jeans, and don't wear a shirt and wear a vest only, and how low can your jeans be, and wear your straps above your from your underpants, wear them like up on your hips, but your pants low. I mean, what? Like, at least in the 80s we got like some sequins and some lace and some fishnet and some really cool like patterns and textures. And the 90s, they tried to bring back some of the 70s with the crocheted things and the bell bottoms and the platform shoes, which I am still so grateful for because I'm only 5 feet tall. And now I think something's come back with style where it's a little more wearable and bearable. And, with the low rise jeans, I mean, I was in like my 20s still, and I was so uncomfortable in that stuff. Any ladies out there, were you uncomfortable with the low rise jeans? Because I miss like the mom jeans of the 80s and the 90s that were really high waisted and like poofed out a little. Acid wash, it kind of gave you an hourglass figure no matter what your size was, because like the waist was thin and then everything went out. I think I'm describing Cavaricis. Oh, who remembers the Cavarici? It's too much. It's too much. So, yeah, that is my CD collection. And I promise you guys it will come back. We're going to have some listening parties because I am excited about this. So does anyone out there want to say, hey, I appreciate all you guys that are joining and watching. And I see little things popping up on the screen, or they were like hearts or something. I don't know what it was, but thank you. I appreciate it. I'm learning what all of this is. I'm learning what all of this means. So if you guys are listening the next day on YouTube or Spotify, I keep getting these little symbols or something from people watching the live, if you know what I'm talking about, and I appreciate it so much. So I am going to sign off on this podcast for now, and there will be a pre-recorded episode this week. Stay tuned for it. It's a surprise. I think you're going to like it. You guys, I will see you on the next episode. Love, peace, and hair grease.